it's working. There we go. Just a break and a cigar, short little something. So, welcome friends. Welcome to everybody. Hey, even if you're not a friend, you're welcome. People come on in. I don't kick anybody out. Everybody's welcome. I'm just not that kind of person. I ain't got it in me. So I'm a welcoming kind of a person. So yeah, it's been a crazy day. Been a lot of learning today. I'm gonna tell a story. I'll get a couple more people in the room before I start the story. Y'all can say what's up. You can go ahead and say what's up. I'm just chilling, listening to DJ Eclipse. Taking a 12 minutes in, so it won't be long. I'll get about exactly 15 minutes and I'll be rolling. I hope everybody's doing good, first off. And to people that know me, y'all know me, and I come at you on the level. That's why I named that live earlier this morning, On the Level. And I was gonna come on the level, and I still am. I'm honest to a fault. I'll tell somebody, good or bad, and I'll talk with people, and I can voice my opinion. I can speak on it. So it's an old piece of wisdom from Solomon, is what it is, that the Masons have taken on. The level itself is made. You can't build a wall without a level. You can't build a table without a level. It'll be crooked. Everything you got to roll off of it, including your dinner, and that's not good. So when people use the comment and say, hey look, let's level with me, or if they say, look, can I level with you, or if they say, hey look, come at me on the level. See, only Masons usually say, come at me on the level, or I'm coming at you on the level. I know a friend that is a Mason. I'm not one. I didn't have time. I ain't got time to join groups like that. But it's a good piece of wisdom, and I take wisdom from everywhere I can get it. I'm like Barabbas. You know, my understanding is he was an orphan and he didn't know no better. And that's the story. I'm not sure if this story is actually attributed to him or not, but I'm gonna tell this story. So this guy who is a warrior, he's well known and feared all around because in battle by himself he takes out armies of men. And what he did was he found himself coming out of the desert. He was hungry, thirsty, weak, and he came into a land he had never been before. Those people recognized him because they had already heard word of the battle that he was just in. And they recognized him as being a warrior, and they said, you know, please don't kill us, please don't destroy our village. And that warrior said, no, I have no quarrel with you at all. Why would I do that? I require water, I require food. So their first impression of this person changed quickly. It changed from they should defend themselves against him or even become his enemy to they wanted to help him. The reason that changed is he came at them on the level. He was honest. So being honest changes the entire situation. He came at him, he said, look, I require food, I require drink. I'm not going to attack your village. I'm coming at you on the level here. The way he said it was just like that. He didn't say the on the level part. But the point is, that's wisdom from Solomon, is coming at people on the level. So I try to come at people on the level. If I think one way, I speak on it. If I think another way, I speak on it. I tell it. I ain't afraid of words. So, and if you cross me, I'll tell you about your ass. If you don't, then I'm, you know, with you. So it's like this. So he comes into this town and he needed food and water, and they gave it to him. But here's what happened. And this is why I say I'm kind of like him in this way. He was an orphan. He did not know his parents. And when he walked in there, and the man is the one that greeted him, and the man gave him food, who was likely a herder and that kind of thing. He gave him food. He didn't wash his hands first and his feet. Back then it was tradition to wash your hands and feet. There were 3 jars that were set up for it. Special jars just for that. Not to drink of, just to wash your hands and feet, ceremonially. So, he didn't wash his hands and feet. And this is knowledge I'm sharing with y'all. So, the guy said, didn't your father ever teach you, because back then it was the father that would teach him, didn't your father ever teach you to wash your hands and feet before you eat? And I want to say it's Barabbas. Let's just call him Barabbas. Barabbas, he bowed his head. He said, no. He said, I'm an orphan. No one did teach me. So I'm going to stop the story right here for a second, because I'm going to tell you about an existing thing that happened to me in my life. Tall head, old friend from work. He helped me out. He took me on in that way, because I came into work one day and I had sleep in my eyes. You know, when you wake up, you got sleep in your eyes. And it's in his family's tradition to wash the hands and face in the morning, what he called put on a new face. And he asked me, he said, you didn't wash your face this morning. And I didn't know what to say, and I said, I've always just wiped it out of my eyes. Yes, I did. He says, well, you missed a lot. He says, didn't your parents teach you better than that? And the truth is, I was in the same position as Barabbas. But I didn't admit to it. I didn't come at him on the level. I think he may have known. I don't know if he knew or not. But at that point, after that, I got in the habit of washing my hands and face, putting on a clean face. Every morning, it's a good habit to have. So this made me learn. And we're all learning. I learned his way and I took it on as my own. Barabbas learned that man's way and he took it on as his own. And they sheltered him from his enemies and they gave him food. But they also taught him to wash his face. He says, no, I wasn't taught. There's things that we learn as we're living. I'm learning every day. I live by one code. Somebody else might live by a completely different code, might not understand my code. And they will learn what I tell them if they're around me, and I will learn what they tell me if I'm around them. And so we're all learning out here. Okay. There's some people who have no couth, no code at all. Some people will steal from you. Some people will do whatever they want. That's one thing. If you step on somebody's toes, I've always said, hey, you know what? They let you know about it. You get told, well, hey, you say, oh, okay. Hey, look, sorry about that. I didn't mean to. You have to understand their code. They have to learn yours. Everybody was brought up different. Even the guy that taught me to wash my hands and my face. And I learned from that. I'm learning every day. But at the same time, I'm learning like the old story about the man who saw a snake that had been hurt by an animal and was almost dead. It was a venomous, poisonous snake. He took the snake to his house and he kept it for about a month and a half and fed it every day from table scraps, and he tried to fix its wound best as he could, and he did his best to care for the snake. On that final day, when he had decided he was going to check on the snake, he took the bandage off and he saw that the snake was healed. And so he decided to set it free. And as he was going to set it free, the snake turned and bit him. And as he felt the poisonous venom go in his veins, he looked at the snake and said, "How could you do this to me? I saved you from death. I wrapped you up. I helped you out. I was a friend to you." You know what the snake said? The snake looked up at him and said, "Didn't you know I was a snake when you picked me up?" So that's part of life's lessons too. You got to learn who is, learning life around you. You got to learn who might want to act like a rat and be about themselves and steal from you and this kind of thing. And then you got to learn if you've tried to help a snake. You never know. You never know. But we're all learning in life, and just like Barabbas, like I said, I got to look this story up to make sure it was him. I know there was Samson, Barabbas. It doesn't matter. It's all about the story. And the Bible is a book that teaches more than just stories. It's a manual on warfare. It tells you, hey, look, the people that bend down and lap the water with their head, cut them off. That's your weakest link. The ones that keep their eye on the horizon and watch for the enemy all the time, and bring the hand up out of the water to your face to drink like that, but keep your eye on the horizon at all times, you keep those. So, needing a little bit of water, needing a cigar. I wanted to tell that. I appreciate y'all showing up. Like I said, I tried to get a live button earlier, but it's been kind of crazy. I've been all over the internet. I've been seeing how people are in different places and stuff. Some people are kind to you, some people are not. You really can't help it. You can't control it. You can't worry about it. You can't act like it bothers you. But at the same time, you got to learn from it. Just like people got to learn to if they got a weak link. I mean, it's like there's a joke that I was told, and it reminds me of that weak link. It's kind of, I always think of the two at the same time, a joke and about your weakest link. It's kind of funny. There's a golfing joke this old man told me. I don't play golf, but this old man told me this golfing joke. He said, he told his friend, they were going playing golf. He was talking about the game. Said, "Did you have fun playing golf?" He said, "No, it was awful. Started out great, but it was awful." He said, "What happened?" He said, "Well, at first it was great. Me and Joe and Fred out there playing golf." He said, "But then the second hole, Fred had a heart attack." The guy says, "No, that's horrible." He says, "Yeah, you believe that? Right there on the second hole, 19 to go." He said, "It was horrible, ruined the whole day." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." He says, "After that, it was hit the ball, drag Fred. Hit the ball, drag Fred." They were diehard golfers. They weren't going to lose that game. So it's really funny when you think about it. At the same time, that's the weakest link. Hit the ball, drag Fred. There's people that's dragging Fred. It's sad. It's sad to watch. But in order to be friends with Joe, you gotta drag Fred. And I'm looking and I'm going, really? So yeah, you see that kind of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff like that. I've been in a lot of places on the internet looking stuff up and looking at news and that kind of stuff. Other than that, seems we're out of this hurricane issue that we had that tore up a bunch of states, and it seems that there's another tropical storm, but it's moving away from the bottom of Mexico in the Pacific. Hopefully it will not make landfall. Hopefully it'll keep going west. And then there's a possible 40% storm that's still in the Atlantic down at the bottom. It's only 40% that's going to turn into something. So maybe this hurricane season's over. We're dealing with the end of that. But yeah, so I put that picture up there. That's an old painting by Van Gogh. It's called Two Rats. I guess they were together there. They hang out. So it's a painting. It's kind of like that. Yeah, and I've been like I said, I've been meaning to go. I may do it on the level, because that's how you should come at people and be real and talk to them, and that's what I've tried to do. I've tried to say, hey, you know, this is standard. If you're, it doesn't matter if you drive a Peterbilt, a Kenworth, a Western Star. It doesn't matter what you drive. You know, you could even be stuck with a Volvo, like poor people. You never know. You could, you know, you're gonna wind up hooking to a trailer that you could have a problem with the slider. And so that is what I'm teaching, and it comes at people on the level. It is for everybody. The stuff that I'm putting up, even smoking cigars, it's for everybody. I don't care if they like me or not. They're learning from it. I think it's great. I've wound up with 2011 something subscribers. I'm pretty amazed with that, I guess. And I try to keep, you know, everything. The first 50 or 60 people can watch my videos without even having to watch a commercial, because I set it up that way. I'm like, hey, y'all diehards coming in quick and wanting to see my stuff, you don't even have to watch a commercial, because I don't even put the commercial on it. I lose that money. I don't care if whatever it is, you know. So, and I get banned, man. I've got the last, I did a video that was a Cannonball Run, and my tunes on it, I'm banned in all countries because I put too many on there. I cranked it. I didn't care. A few people watched it. That's great that you liked it. I was just, hey, I'm not in any way ashamed of my driving skills, and I can show it. So if anybody thinks they can do a Cannonball Run, that's running and stopping for a break and then going again and knocking down at least 550 to 600 miles. Video it, show it, you know, live. Hit the live button. If you ain't scared to drive live, that's what I'm saying. So I don't get into challenges much, but if you want a challenge, there you go. Drive live, Cannonball Run. But what I'm doing is mostly mechanical, and just trying to show what I know before I go. Mainly because nobody wanted to show me. And it made me mad enough to say, when I ever learn this stuff, whenever I get good at this stuff, whenever I see every single thing there is to know and take apart every broken part that breaks on me and change every brake chamber, every turn a wrench, you know, I've got to show, you know, a lot of other things about a truck. It could be for me a lifetime job even if I quit driving now. But I got a couple more years left to do this, and I'm going to. And you know, trying to help people out as I go along. But I said, if I ever get to the point where I can somehow video it, and so YouTube came along, I'm like, that'll be perfect if I ever get time. And then finally I said, okay, look, I'm never going to do this if I don't start this now. I'm just going to start it now. So don't be in any way intimidated to start a YouTube channel, because by de facto and by time alone, you will get people watching your videos and subscribers. It's all about time and mathematical reasoning, and you look it up. Nobody's more important than anybody else. I'm not famous. I've got subscribers, I've got views, but I'm not, look, you don't even see me. How can I be famous? I'm not trying to be. I'm not a Kardashian, like I said. I'm not about that. I'm just not the kind of person. I could care less about fame. Not important to me. I could care less about being well known for being well known for being well known. You know, if I go to Matt's and Gat's, whatever, any kind of a truck show, it is not to stand there and say, everybody come over here and gawk at me. Not trying to do that, never have. And I don't care, honestly, there's a few people that do that. I see their ways. I gotta be honest. I see some of them, it's bad news. Bad news. So, but I don't do videos specifically, you know, taking their stuff and showing about them doing bad and stuff and all this. There's some people that have done that and run them through the ringer. Let them do what they do. You know, it's one of the things where they're putting themselves out there almost like a public figure. And I'll get into that for just a second, and then I gotta ride. Okay? You need to be careful about what weight you give to some of these people on YouTube, on anywhere, not because they're bad people or they're doing anything wrong, just because though you could be involved in it so much that it's like a PSYOP. It's brainwashing in a way. There's a mathematical formula that people that go to concerts don't even realize, but it's the same if you turn an alligator upside down, he goes to sleep, passes out. If you turn a lizard upside down and rub on them, I think they can even die because the heartbeat slows so much. It's either that or frogs, but I believe it's a lizard. If you get a shark upside down with his nose down, they've got videos of them doing that in the ocean, they go catatonic, they kind of pass out. So basically it's like this. They have realized that if the human body, if your head is tilted back at a certain degree, now I'm not talking about somebody standing on what they call a stump and doing a stump speech like an old apple box. I'm talking about being up on a stage 6 foot ahead of you, 6 foot higher than you to 8 foot higher than you, and you're looking up. It does something to the chemical makeup in your brain. You need to be aware of that. You need to be aware of they're making you look up to people. Okay? That's number one in the formula for these people becoming what you would call stars, and that's the one thing that I am not, is you don't see me on here and you're not looking up to me. You might hear what I'm saying. You might learn from it. You might see me working on something, turning a wrench. But that is the number one reason that you won't see me, is I'm not on here for that. Y'all need to understand that. And there's nothing against people who are showing themselves and trying to make friends and stuff, because I'm going to tell you, they don't have it in their mind and in their heart. I don't believe. Some of them do, but most of them don't have it in their mind and in their heart to in any way become that. But it's part of the mathematical formula. That loud music is sensory deprivation. Look that up. You put seeing someone on a regular basis in your eyes, you put leaning your head back to look up to them, and you put sensory deprivation together, you've got a mathematical formula for brainwashing. People, be careful how much time you spend. Even like people go, you wonder why people screamed at the Beatles concerts and all this stuff, and they go crazy. That's part of it. Alcohol doesn't help either, which you shouldn't be drinking if you're anywhere around a vehicle. Please God, don't do that. But you know, they got them out there all the time, and they wipe them up out of the median. I saw a deadly accident just the other day. But even if you've got a ride, you're still in danger at the concerts of your mind. You lose your sensibility. Okay? So in no way has my channel tried to make anybody lose their sensibility. I'm trying to educate. I gotta get off this thing, I gotta get riding. I'm gonna do more on this, and I'm coming at you on the level, because that's me. I'm out. Peace.